realize why I like the song.
Ready? Oh, that's cute. Hello. We are on day 3 of a road trip vacation. I was going to record every time I read on vacation, or realistically how much I read on vacation. And the result of that is 1 chapter on day 2 and nothing else. We're driving to our next location today, where we'll be for a few days, and the weather's gonna be a little bit crappier, so I probably will be reading more moving forward. And I brought like a ton of books. I brought books for Zach, so we'll see. It might also just be little snippets of our vacation, because everything I've filmed so far is just like trails that we went on and beautiful fall trees on these roads here. So we are in BC. We are in Revelstoke right now and moving on to Nelson. And yeah, we're kind of collecting stickers from all the cities we go to and national parks. We went to 2 national parks yesterday and they were both amazing, very cool. So that's kind of all we're doing right now. I just started Fools and Mortals by Bernard Cornwell yesterday, and I soft DNF'd it about 2 years ago. So I'm a little bit nervous going into it, but I think I'm more in the mood for it this time anyway. But that's what we're doing. So we're gonna take like a few hour, I think it's like a 4-hour drive from Revelstoke to Nelson, and I probably will read for a majority of that. I don't think I've gotten car sick in a long time, so I think it'll be fine. Yeah, it is 8:30 and we should pack up and head on out of here to make the ferry to Nelson. So you're being so cute. So that's the current day. I don't really know what this is gonna be. Yeah, half reading, half travel, half dogs. I don't know what's going on. He's being so cute. Just went for coffee this morning. It's Thanksgiving also today, Canadian Thanksgiving. So we're not sure what we're gonna do for dinner or if anything will be open. The current plan is to, if no restaurants are open, to go to the grocery store and get like a rotisserie chicken and some boxed potatoes. We'll see what the result of that is. Get this cute dog off my lap so I can pack everything, pack up the truck and move on. But I also can't get up because he's so cute. I totally wish I could be in the hot tub right now. Can you get a picture of us? Because this is never gonna happen again.
It's like when you're on the airplane and you watch your trip.
Yeah. House in Hot Springs Park.
This one you said was closed? This is the one that's a pool.
Oh, hello.
So we've made it to our second Airbnb, and this place is so nice. We're like near Nelson, BC. Here, let me do a tour. It's like beautiful. So you come in through the front door there, right into the kitchen, and the living room, and it's just bedroom and bathroom, but it's like a giant deck. Look at that view. Hot tub. We kind of don't book things that don't have hot tubs these days. Like, oh, amazing. We just finished eating dinner because it's Thanksgiving. We did like all boxed mashed potatoes and a rotisserie chicken, so the leftovers were in the fridge, but that was... Oh, and I got an iced coffee and then decided to have wine instead, and Zach put his wine in there because he wants to finish his other drink. Good morning. We'll see how this goes. Today is... what day is it? Wednesday. We leave tomorrow morning. Yesterday I read maybe about 30 more minutes of Fools and Mortals, and then I
decided to hard DNF. I got, I think, close to the same point that I soft DNF'd last time. And I was just like, it's not getting more interesting. I don't really care about any of the characters. I think I'm like 60 or 70 pages in again. That seems to be my like sweet spot for DNFing. I think it's from the perspective of Shakespeare's brother, which in theory should be actually really interesting, but I found it kind of boring. And like I loved my religious history class that took part at that time period of like Queen Elizabeth versus the Catholic Queen Mary stuff, like trying to make it all Protestant, right? Anyway, but the book was boring. He kept repeating things that we already knew, like multiple times. He described it like it was the first time it was being introduced. And I was like, you told us this like 15 pages ago. We already know that this is the case. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. So then I started Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands yesterday. I am about 50 pages in. Read for a little bit yesterday, and then we went to town and did some stuff and took the dogs they have like a great off-leash dog beach here. It's like a almost 2-kilometer trail. So they had a blast yesterday, and then we got pizza for dinner and we watched Doctor Who. We started The Addams Family while we were on this trip because we're like, oh, we watch an episode a night. That's like a great show for this weather in the fall. Like, look at where I am. But we found it a little bit boring. The first episode, we were like, this is actually not... I think I had very high expectations. I've loved every Addams Family adaptation I've ever watched, and this kind of didn't hit for me. The production value was great, but other than that, so we just went back to watching Doctor Who. We're on season 4. Zach's watched them all before, but I haven't. Last night we watched a little bit of Worst Roommate Ever documentary. Season 2 came out recently, I think, so that's what we did yesterday. So I didn't read very much. We kind of just spent time together and did a little bit of window shopping. Then we hot tubbed last night. It was nice. It was very nice. Had a glass of wine. And now it is 9 a.m. on Wednesday. And I'm going to read for about half an hour in the hot tub. And then I think I will get ready and we will go back to town. We only did about half of the main city strip yesterday. A few places were closed and we went kind of early, so they weren't open yet. And then the truck was done charging and we were like, let's just go back and have like a relaxing day and finish it today. So we are going to do that later, probably around lunchtime, and then dip in somewhere there and have something to eat. Oh, we have leftover pizza. We'll have that. Anyway, that I think is all I have to say. I'm not reading nearly as much as I would have liked to on this trip, but also I'm making the most of it and having fun and spending time with Zach, and that's much more important than reading. Plus going back home, we get home Thursday, and then I don't go back to work until Tuesday. We're busy Saturday, Sunday, but other than that, like, I can read most of the weekend, so that will be nice. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna read. I already had my latte. Zach went to town and got me a coffee. I think that this book is good because unlike the first one, when they're she's kind of just filling her encyclopedia and, oh, it might be raining, shoot. When she's kind of just filling her encyclopedia and walking around and having these dilly-dallies, this one, there's already a clear goal, like they're chasing something and looking for something. So it is better in that sense that the plot actually has some more value, in my opinion. I liked the first book, I really did, but I didn't, it was one of those things where I had to read it in very few sittings so that I wouldn't feel like, oh, I have to pick up this book again. Whereas this one I already was excited to read this morning. And I think 50 pages into the last one, I didn't really feel that way. Stopped for a little park play in Greenwood, which they say is the smallest city in Canada. Good boy. Good. Spin. Good boy. You can't see the town from here. It's really cute and small. A few hours from home. The dogs are playing upstairs with Zach, so it might be a bit loud. I was just about to start filming my next video, and then I realized I never filmed an outro for our road trip. We left Nelson at about 8 a.m. and with the charging and meals, and we took the dogs for like 3 walks plus like a park play session. So we got home at about 4:30, and then we went and played volleyball at 6:30. We wish we got subs. We didn't play our best, that's for sure. But it was fine. Whatever, it is what it is. And I tried not to sit in between there, so I unpacked everything already last night, which, you know what, that was such a blessing this morning that like most of my clothes I put in the recycling. Most of my clothes I put in the laundry basket even if I didn't wear them, because that's just how it goes, right? They're all in a bag together. So I'm doing most of the laundry right now. Anyway, so I did all of that in between. So then when we got home, we were like tired. So I didn't film this, and I totally didn't think about it until right this moment at 7 p.m. the next day. I read for about 2 hours on the drive. I think about that. I got 220 pages in. It's not chapters, right? It's just her journal, so that's pretty good. Maybe I'll finish this tonight in bed. I'm not sure. It's like 100 pages left. And I have dog-eared lots, which I don't usually do. I usually tab it, but when I'm driving, and I didn't bring any of my tabs with me. Sometimes I'll text myself the page number, but that actually also gets annoying. So I have a lot of annotating to do when I'm done this book, which is kind of fun. It's worlds better than the first book, which I think I mentioned I don't usually say about a sequel I think this is going to be a trilogy. I don't usually say that about the second book in a trilogy. So that is really exciting. Like, I'm actually loving the story. I don't think it's a 5 stars, but I think we're sitting at a 4 stars right now, which is amazing. I think the first book I rated 3. I want to know what's going to happen next. I think it's not a 5 stars because, again, I might not think about it later, and I'm not eager to finish it today. But I am excited to keep reading and see how it goes, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I have to read it and I can't fall asleep until I'm done. But it's very good. I think there was something I was thinking that I loved about this. I love that I don't love or hate any of the characters. They're all in between. Every time I think I dislike, there's a new character in this book. His name is something Rose. His last name is Rose. And at first I was like, oh, I'm going to hate this guy. And now he says things and I'm like, you might kind of just be jaded, but you're still not a bad person. And then other times where I like other people and I don't actually like them so much anymore. I don't want to say too much because I know it's a popular book. I'm very back and forth on who I like, which makes for a good book, right? Because it's not super obvious who to root for all the time. And Emily is more like Bones from the show Bones in this book than she is in the first one. I also find her quite relatable sometimes, and other times not at all. But like her social aspects I find quite relatable. Just like doesn't want to be around people, and when she is, she's like surprised that she becomes friends with people, and like I appreciate that about her. So I'm not going to do the final recap in this video because this is the end of it, but hopefully I'll finish that soon. So the answer to how much will I read on a road trip vacation for 6 days is not a lot. Didn't even finish one book. I DNF'd one and I'm 3/4 of the way through another one. That's okay. The road trip was fun. I'm not sure how much filming I did that is usable. I think there will be way too much B-roll just because the drive was really beautiful and I just didn't want to keep my camera on me all the time and film everything. So it's just going to be whatever it is. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Hate that. See you next time.